How much has the Willow God done for Shi Hao? Not only did it arrange for Immortal King level experts to protect Shi Hao, but his true form also died twice to save him. It wasn't until Shi Hao broke through above the sacrificial path that the Willow God was resurrected. In the original novel, the Willow God is a supreme Immortal King leader, considered the strongest force in the 9 heavens and 10 earths and the foreign realm. Because any strong being beyond the Immortal King either crosses the boundary sea and gets eroded by the strange forces, becoming a corpse, or desperately searches for a way to break through to the Immortal Emperor on the Immortal Emperor's corpse. They all roam freely in the ultimate ancient land across the boundary sea, and to prevent the darkness from eroding the 9 heavens and 10 earths, Liu Shen also began searching for a way to break through to the Immortal Emperor, creating his own unique sacrificial spirit system. As long as someone cultivates this system, Liu Shen can gain the power of faith. However, breaking through to the Immortal Emperor is not that easy, so Liu Shen began to undergo continuous nirvana and rebirth, waiting to transcend into an emperor after merging several lifetimes of cultivation. In one lifetime, Liu Shen went to the boundary sea and brought back the remnant soul of the colorless sparrow Immortal King, allowing him to nest in his tree. Therefore, after Liu Shen was ambushed by the Immortal King from the Immortal Domain and turned into a seed to develop in the lower realm, the colorless sparrow did not leave but wanted to repay the karma, so they healed together in the lower realm until they met Shi Hao. Liu Shen knew that his future was full of uncertainties, and perhaps he was the one who could dispel the darkness, so Liu Shen had the colorless sparrow protect Shi Hao. Even later, when Liu Shen went to the primordial gate with the small tower, he still left the colorless sparrow in Stone Village. How powerful are Liu Shen's connections? In the past, he single-handedly charged into the other world, going in and out 9 times. His formidable combat strength allowed him to befriend many Immortal King powerhouses. Although they all perished in repeated battles with the other world, even a trace of their lingering thoughts or a remaining battle imprint can still intimidate the 9 heavens world. The master of the scenic area is a friend of Liu Shen, possessing the power of an immortal king with 8 true immortal disciples under him. For Shi Hao, Liu Shen turned these connections into protectors for Shi Hao. It can be said that the birth of the horizontal heaven emperor is critically linked to Liu Shen, which is why Liu Shen is called Liu Ma. Although the colorless sparrow appears infrequently, each appearance is extremely crucial. Agreeing to Liu Ma's request to save Shi Hao from peril. The first time was when the 7 gods descended. Shi Hao was killed by Huang Yuli and Tong Xiu, and the colorless sparrow found the resurrection grass and black and white soil, allowing Shi Hao to be reborn. The second time was when Shi Hao returned from the upper realm to the lower realm, encountering the true dragon, the leader of the 10 fiends. Shi Hao's true nature was exposed, and he immediately fled the true dragon's lair. The true dragon Gegu was no match for Shi Hao, but the pride of the 10 fiends made her rather die than leave until she triggered the remnant soul of the true dragon in the dragon's lair. She originally intended to kill Shi Hao, but to give Gegu a chance at survival, she entrusted Gegu to Shi Hao instead. However, Gegu had already been reborn as a dragon egg and, due to an innate defect, could not descend to the world. At this time, the colorless sparrow brought a branch, directly replenishing Gegu's life essence, and Gegu successfully became Shi Hao's disciple. The master of the scenic area provided even greater help to Shi Hao, becoming his 4th mentor. Shi Hao was afflicted by the exiled immortal curse, nearly losing his life and path. After returning to the lower realm, he accidentally entered a forbidden zone, disturbing its master. Although the master only had a trace of consciousness left, he still established the forbidden zone and possessed immense power. He saw through Shi Hao at a glance and offered his assistance. Shi Hao's Dao Foundation became increasingly utilized, and he was taught to eradicate the exiled immortal curse. He was even taken to the Immortal Domain, where 3 drops of Immortal King blood were exchanged from Pan Wang. Then, the power of time and space laws was used to give Shi Hao 490,000 years of cultivation time. Finally, to protect Shi Hao, a wisp of obsession was sacrificed just to secure a sliver of hope for him. On Shi Hao's journey of growth, Liu Shen was the most tragic. After entering the primordial gate and realizing the power of the Immortal King, unable to cross the boundary sea, the primordial spirit and body separated, actively engaging with darkness, and went to the ultimate ancient land. Unfortunately, a quasi-immortal emperor appeared and severely injured Liu Shen. Thanks to the Emperor Fire of the Footprint Emperor, it was able to remain in the ultimate ancient land, and the abandoned body transformed into the Dark Willow God. Because it retained memories, after Shi Hao arrived at the boundary sea, it followed Shi Hao in battles, becoming a great support. Until the era of covering the sky, the primordial spirit of the Willow God was revived by Shi Hao, ascending to Immortal Emperor. But in a battle during the Sacred Ruins era, the Willow God once again chose to sacrifice itself to save Shi Hao. Even with Shi Hao's sacrificial power, he could not revive them. It was only after breaking through beyond the sacrificial path that Shi Hao revived all those who had died in battle. Liu Shen advanced to the peak of the Immortal Emperor realm.